All right, Trev, you got a week into the camp. What have you seen so far, and what has stood out from these guys that maybe you like since they got the pads on the last couple of days?
Yeah, I've seen improvement every day. I think they're buying into what we're saying as far as getting to the ball, the standard of getting to the ball. We're calling out what a loaf is, and we're showing examples of what great effort is, so they can know exactly what it looks like. So there's no gray area. So we like that part of it. Guys are getting lined up, different formations and different things like that. Have to make checks. So you're seeing who can communicate with confidence and knowing what they do. The first day or so wasn't a lot of movement, and then guys got to moving around, different motions and different things like that. So you could see who could communicate, and that's always good to see.
Coach, kind of where are you with everything right now? I know it's about a weekend. Are you getting ready for a scrimmage maybe later in the week? Kind of where is everything?
Yes, tomorrow we're supposed to scrimmage, so we have a lot of information because we get to tackle. You know, we were doing bump tempo. It used to be called thud, but it's bump tempo. And then we had tracking tempo, and you could kind of fool people a little bit because of it's not really tackling. We will know tomorrow. We'll really know kind of what we have and put all the pieces of the puzzle together. So I love that part. You get to play football. That's what we're here for, and I'm eager to see the guys go out there and compete.
Travis, how much of the system are you guys already installed, or is that something that comes later on in camp, or are you just trying to get the basics down right now?
The basic system. So this is like our third time installing. So it's not the guys' first time seeing it, and again, we're going to do what the guys can do. So right now we're in the process of seeing what they can do, and then kind of go from there, doing some different things and just seeing what is best for UCF defense, and that's the fun part. That's the fun part, and that's why they call us coach. And we're not going to beat a system into them. We're gonna figure out what they can do, and that's the best thing about what we do is just figuring out who can do what, put the right tails in the right seats, and we'll be good to go.
Coach, what are you seeing from Jeremiah Jean-Baptiste?
You know what? Just man, he's taken a huge step forward since I've gotten here. When we first got here, and every day during the spring and just fall camp, just taking that step forward, putting him in different situations so he could communicate, and he's taking a step forward. I really like his progress.
Obviously, UCF had multiple guys in the secondary drafted. How is that unit coming along? Maybe some other guys stepping up. What's going on there?
Yes, we got a lot of guys at different positions back there. And again, we're just trying to put the right tails in the right seats, and that's the part. Just watching them and seeing the guys communicating, seeing the guys gel, and we're playing kind of musical chairs a little bit to see who fits where, and we'll know a lot more after tomorrow scrimmage. But they're coming together. They're coming together, and it's always good. When they're getting comfortable in the system, when you hear them communicating and communicating with confidence. And even I tell them, like, man, say something. If we all wrong, we all right. But we can't be one side doing one thing and the other side doing another thing. So just communicating, and it's been good. Coach Gibbs and Coach Addison does a great job on the back end. Two veteran guys is just coaching in detail, and just the small things that holding the guys to the standard of what we want, and it's been really good.
Coach, you said last week you're anxious to see linebacker Bryson Armstrong once you put on the pads. Obviously transfer from Kennesaw. What's kind of the early? How's he looked early on in camp?
He's a football player, just like we thought, and he's been at different positions. We've moved him all around. So tomorrow we'll see exactly what he can do, what the whole defense can do. Just like I told the guys, like tomorrow is a big evaluation for us to kind of see and try to put, like I said, the right tails in the right seats, and just figuring out what we want to do defensively, and we'll know more after tomorrow.
You obviously preached to the idea of getting to the ball. You talked about tempo and being fast on the field. Have you seen that from these guys so far after the first week of practice?
Yes, because that's going against our offense. That's what you're going to get, and we work a drill every day defensively of just working with the pace. Like in our mind, we invite it. We don't want to be caught off guard when teams are pacing us or going fast. This is just what we do every day. We do it in the sun. It's hot, and it's just what we do. So we're gonna have a culture of, hey, let's get lined up, let's play football. Put the ball down and let's play. You're going fast, you're going slow, you're playing in the street, you're playing in the parking lot, you're playing in the stadium. Just put the ball down and let's play football. So it's a mindset and a mentality.
What's the setup for tomorrow's scrimmage? Will it be one-on-ones or twos, or what's the plan for tomorrow?
It's on Coach Malzahn, and I don't know how the setup is going to be. I don't know how much live we're going to do. I just know it's going to be a little bit more real football, so we can get an evaluation going.
Coach Malzahn said that one of his goals of camp was to determine who he could count on. What does that mean to you in your position group?
It means everything, because when we're not out there coaching, we're not out there playing. The players are actually playing. We're on the sideline. So when it gets just tough and teams are running the ball and we got to make a stop, or they're driving and we got to make a stop, somebody has to step up, and somebody has to be that person. Hopefully it's all 11 guys. So we're trying to see who we can count on, so we won't be surprised come Saturday, Friday, or Thursday, whenever we play, and somebody don't step up, or somebody just does something they don't supposed to do. Like, oh, well, we knew that. It was doing it all fall camp. So we're trying to get 100% participation of everybody, just count on me type of mentality.
Coach, I know obviously you're waiting for tomorrow to kind of see how these guys do in the scrimmage, but Big Cat Brian, a guy I know you're very familiar with from your days at Auburn, first week, how's he looked?
He's looked good. We're doing some different things that we did at Auburn, so it's some learning things that he's doing that's going to benefit him. Some different technique things that we're doing, but he's a seasoned vet. Like he's a pro. He's one of the guys that was on the effort tape running to the ball, like just crazy effort. So he's a vet. He's been a captain at Auburn, and that's voted on by your teammates, so they don't get out of the way. So it's like they don't just pick you to be. It's not one of them deals. Like, they vote on you, so you have to have leadership qualities and leadership ability, and that's what he has. And he knows how to practice, and he knows the standard, and it's good for guys to kind of see him, and he's leading by example.
Travis, you talked about finding the right spot for some guys in the next couple of days with the scrimmage and everything. Do you envision maybe moving some guys around that maybe having them in different spots, maybe to best utilize their abilities?
Yes, and it's been that the first week. We've doing a lot of different moving and shifting, and different people with the first group, different people with the second group. You may be on the first group this day, second group the next day. It's just been like a musical chairs, and we just trying to get the fix. Like, we got the ingredients, right? We have the ingredients. Now we're just trying to just make sure we cook the right meal and put all the ingredients in there. So that's what it's about, and we're trying to be 22 strong. It's not about 11. We need to be 22. If we get 22 guys, because guys get nicked and bruised and different things like that, that's what we're trying to build. Just make sure we have 22 guys to go out there and go to battle with us.
I know you were at a different school a year ago, but one thing we heard, people admitted later on, was when players came back for preseason camp last year without having a summer, a lot of guys were out of shape and everything. Now that they've had that, are you seeing players the way it should be, maybe like you saw at Auburn 2 years ago?
Yes, guys, I think, and that's just to commend Coach Dawson, what he did with the strength staff, and just having them running this summer and doing different things. And we do some different running after practice just to make sure we stay in shape. And it's fast at practice, so you're getting in shape during practice. But the guys are in shape, and if they're not in shape, we're gonna work them in shape. We may have a guy here or there that may been sick or something like that, and miss a couple of days where he got to work himself back in shape. But it was totally different from when we got here in the spring. We got here in the spring, and we knew they were out of shape, so we had to work them into shape. So we was patient, like, hey, listen, we know you're out of shape. Just give us 3 reps. Give us 4. Come to the sideline, and we'll rotate you. That sort of deal. Like, just understanding, like, they haven't really been running before we got here. So just working them into shape, and then Coach Dawson this summer doing a great job of getting them in shape.
I know last year with the pandemic, teams weren't able to really kind of hang out during the summer and kind of build camaraderie and chemistry. I know it's been different this summer, and I know last night the team did like a movie night. How important are those kind of events maybe to kind of build up that chemistry for these kids?
It's huge, because last night we watched the movie at the end, but every coach had 10 guys, not in their position group. We had 10 guys I had offensive linemen, I had a quarterback, I had a tight end, I had DBs, had different just position groups. And I every coach kind of told their story, and the kids was telling their story. And I told them, like, listen, we're sitting here, I'm not Coach T. Will in front of you. You're my brother. This is my background. This is where I'm from. This is what I've been through. And then we went around the circle, and every coach had their own separate rooms. It was awesome last night, and it's something that Coach Malzahn does, and I really love what he does. It's just, it takes the human element, and you really understand this kid. So when you see him in the hallway, you're not just walking past Johnny or whoever, and don't know what he's going through. You know, you walk past Travis Williams and don't know, you know, that I really like what we did, and we'll do it every week because now if something is going on, you have that human element to it, and you know his background and where he's from, and that ultimately brings you closer. Because at the end of the day, the kids got to play for you. You know, they got to know you care. You know, so you just you have rules, but also they know you care, so they'll go by those rules and those standards as well. So I thought last night was really awesome, really do.
What'd you watch?
We watch our Friday Night Lights. If you want to win, put Booby in. Pretty good movie, by the way.
Real quick, Coach Bobby Bowden at Florida State just passed. I don't know if you had any connections with him or maybe followed Florida State growing up, and just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on his passing and what he meant to the sport.
I've met him one time. He came to my high school recruiting a linebacker, Michael Bowden, that went to Florida State. I was a year younger, and it was like, man, that's about Bobby Bowden coming to our school. So it was awesome. But everything you read about him is just him being a great coach, right? Second winningest coach, but him being a great person. Like being a great person and a man of faith, and he didn't hide it. And I mean, because at the end of the day, like when you look at it, and I was telling the defensive staff, it's like we all going to go one day, and I don't want to be known as a great football coach. That means I failed. I want to be known as a great person that impacted these young men's lives, and that's what we're in here for. You know, the good Lord give us this platform, and He wants to see what you do with it. And I just watch him just really live by his faith and being a man of character, you know, being a man of standards, and not being afraid to voice his faith. And that's what we're in for. Because at the end of the day, when we go, you know, and it really hit me because something happened to Travis Williams, they're going to do a moment of silence. There's going to be a few tweets, and then life goes on. So you live this life for a moment of silence and a few tweets. It ain't worth that. So make sure you impacting people and you loving people and you pouring into people. That's what it's really about. That's what this whole thing about. Like, because when you say it, that's all you're going to get is some tweets and a moment of silence. But if you impact lives and it's generational, it lasts forever. So that's why I like what we did last night, and we get to pour into these guys and know where they're from and all of that, because it's deep in the ball. Like I told them, my love for my guys is not contingent on if they make a tackle or interception. That means I'm inconsistent. I only like you if you make a play. I'm in the wrong business if I'm doing that. So he's an example of what it looks like, Coach Bowden. It's an example of what it looks like, and there's a few other coaches that's around here, and it's not a lot of them like that now that's really caring about these young men. So, I mean, that's what we try to do here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank y'all, guys.